Imagine a world where children can't wait to get to school every day because learning is fun. Imagine a world where children work together instead of teasing or bullying each other. Imagine a world where teens don't drop out of school because they are focused on a career path. Imagine a world where graduates are ready for the job market. This world is possible. My name is Lady Lee Clinton. Let's talk about reinventing education in America. Our current system of public education in America is not working. As of the most current statistics, 16% of all public high school students fail to graduate. According to the recent testing, only 20 to 40% of 12th grade students are at or above proficiency. It's hard to get an accurate feel from the available statistics on how children and teens really feel about school because most students are afraid to say the wrong thing. The students and graduates that I've personally talked to tend to dislike school and feel frustrated by constantly being tested on useless stuff. Presidential administrations as far back as Lyndon B. Johnson have recognized that the public school system is failing our children. Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Elementary and Secondary Education Act into law in 1965, which was updated as the No Child Left Behind program of George W. Bush in 2001. A Nation at Risk, a federal report from 1983, states, "If an unfriendly foreign power had attempted to impose on America the mediocre educational performance that exists today, we might well have viewed it as an act of war." Teachers today are still crying out for educational reform. But reforms are just band-aids on a system that no longer meets the needs of our country. Many blame studies at the high school level, poor quality of teachers, and inadequate testing. But these are not the real issues. The system is the issue. It needs to be completely replaced. What would a new education system look like? First, we need to identify the goals. The absolute end goal is for students to graduate either ready to enter the workforce or moving on to the next stage of education required for an advanced career. All graduates should be ready to tackle the complex roles of adulthood. We want students to enjoy their educational experience because learning is more effective. We want students who are good critical thinkers, something that doesn't always show on a test score. And we want students who will treat others with respect. Students are no longer tested and compared to others under this system. Teachers monitor individual student progress. One of the biggest challenges students face today is the testing system. If they fail a test, the teacher often doesn't have time to go back and discover where individual students have gotten lost because they are required to keep up so their students are ready for the next set of tests. This does not benefit the student in any way. Education needs to be focused on the individual student to ensure that each child understands the skills being presented on which new skills are based. Rather than endless testing, each student has an educational portfolio that allows teachers to track individual skills. Then we redefine the way we think about education. The old core classes of reading, writing, and arithmetic are replaced with an interwoven set focusing on communication, logic, creativity, health, science, and culture. We redefine the class structures based on learning stages. Kindergarten to second grade is the foundation level. Third to sixth grade is exploration level. Seventh and eighth grade are transition level. And ninth to 12th are career prep. Many early elementary school teachers have already discovered the Zoophonics system for teaching communication skills. It could easily be expanded to include the other 5 parts. Young children learn best through play, stories, and interactive experience. Students learn by playing with their 26 animal friends. Rather than being forced to recognize abstract shapes composed of lines and curves and having to memorize which phonetic sound that abstract shape represents, children quickly learn the zoophonic animals, each of which makes a sound that fits with a story. Children begin to write by drawing stick figures of their animal friends. Logic can be incorporated into this program with additional stories that teach counting, measuring, comparing, sorting, space recognition, and calculating. If logic is taught in story format, children do not need to memorize endless facts that often have no meaning for them. New concepts are always connected to previous ones. Creativity is developed by offering numerous ways to experiment with personal expression in art, music, movement, and storytelling. Children are encouraged to try new art forms, listen to different kinds of music, try new instruments, move in safe ways, and tell their own stories. Health, physical, emotional, and mental, is a critical area of development. Zoophonics has a fun aerobics program to help develop large motor muscles. Stories about the animals can help children learn how to safely express their emotions. Activities help children cope with issues that might otherwise develop into mental health problems later in life. Science is easy to incorporate into zoophonics because the animals represent living things that come from different habitats. Some can fly, swim, or run very fast. There are many aspects of science that animals can teach. Culture for young children deals with families. This is what they know at a young age. By having the animals tell about their families, which can be tailored to the countries where that species is found, children can begin expanding their understanding of human culture. By the time a student moves up to the exploration level, they have a full set of foundational skills to work with. They are fluent in communication, both written and spoken. They have good logic skills, are developing independent creative skills, practicing good health skills, and are beginning to develop science and cultural skills. Now it's time to begin building on that foundation. The first step is for the student to gain a better understanding of the world we live in. I can think of no better pathway than the magic school bus. Scholastic has already created a library of teacher resources for this impressive series of books. That program could easily be expanded and modified for classroom use. The next year would focus on human culture. There have been many programs developed in the form of games that teach students about history and geography. An effective approach would include connections to all 6 areas. The third year could focus on invention, from simple machines to more complex mechanical devices. I still remember playing the game Connections, a video game produced by the Discovery Channel, with my own children. The Discovery Channel already offers tech books in science, math, and history. They might be willing to help design a new program that incorporates the 6 areas and provides for interactive classroom learning. The fourth year focuses on technology. We live in a digital age. Students today need to understand electronics, computer logic, robotics, coding, and a myriad collection of programs that allow us to interact with digital technology. Digital technology advances rapidly, so educational programs in this field need to be adaptive as new technology emerges. No textbooks here. It's all hands-on skills and applications. As children begin to transition toward adulthood, they undergo many physical, emotional, and mental changes. The transition level needs to be focused on helping these emerging tweens through this challenging time in their lives. The first year focuses on personal awareness, including personal communication skills, logic skills like budgeting and learning how to get around, developing personal creativity, understanding personal health and wellness, the science of psychology, and how their personal culture can translate into positive expression. The second year focuses on social awareness, including social communication, like the internet, media, writing reports and essays, doing research, and sharing works of fiction. Logic skills include economics and connections with science and technology. Health focuses on individual interactions in groups, sexual awareness, addiction, and developing healthy habits. Science focus will depend on current events and how technology is affecting society. Culture should explore government and laws and the responsibility of American citizens. By the time students finish the transition level, they should be ready to begin thinking about a career. The next 4 years, the student will be focusing on a career path. This begins with a career blitz for the first year. The students are divided into class-size working groups. Each week, the groups are introduced to a new career possibility. They spend the entire week studying the basic foundation skills of each career. This gives them an idea of what each career is about and if they might be interested in pursuing that career path. They also gain important life skills that will aid them as adults. For example, one week the group might be introduced to the work of electricians. They learn the necessary terminology, the logical skills, creative ways of approaching electrical wiring, electrical safety, the science behind generating, transporting, and delivering electricity to consumers, and the history of electrifying America. By the time they finish that week, they will have gained basic skills in wiring and understand how circuits in their own homes work. The second and third years are divided into thirds. Students decide which 6 career areas from the Blitz interested them most and spend a 3-month-long intensive study in each of these 6 choices. The end result will be a certificate similar to what many community college students receive today. By the final year, the student should have chosen a career path to follow. They will be matched with internships in that field and take an additional classroom session for any necessary information not provided on the job. Not only does this give students hands-on experience in the field they have chosen, but it gives prospective employers a chance to see the students' abilities in action. Some careers will require additional training and education beyond this level, such as medical, legal, and advanced sciences, but many students will be ready to step into their career field right after graduation. In an atmosphere of student-centered learning, children are taught to work together rather than compete. This decreases the potential for bullying and creates more empathetic students. Because students are happy and excited about learning, they are less likely to suffer from stress and less likely to abuse substances. People with introverted personalities who tend to have fewer positive feelings or be attracted to rewards in life are more likely to abuse drugs. By creating a supportive culture beginning in kindergarten, children will be less likely to develop an introverted personality. A recent report from the National Institute on Drug Abuse suggests that children experiment with addictive substances to fit in, feel good, feel better, do better, and experiment. By creating a positive environment, we can help students meet those needs without drugs or alcohol. The career prep approach, which is similar to vocational training, can reduce the dropout rate and encourage teens to graduate. It also helps businesses and communities plan for future development. Businesses can have trained professionals working in the school to ensure that students have the required skills needed to move into jobs in that industry. This approach meets the needs of the students as well as the needs of future employers. It reduces stress for students, parents, and teachers. It reduces costs by eliminating testing material and textbooks that are outdated by the time they hit the shelf. It increases the chances for all students to enter a career field that interests them and improves the labor force in our country. For more information on this topic, you will find a link to a free book that I wrote. All references used in this video are found in the text below the video on my website. I'm Lady Lee Clinton. Thank you for your time.